Hello, PokeHaven Beans. It is your resident graphic designer, Rileyy here. Lani is currently moving house, so she isn't here. Luke is currently with the fam, so he isn't here, which means I'm free to do whatever I want. So I decided this week, because we're probably going to be talking about E3, because why the heck not, to invite the amazing, unique, I don't even know what third adjective to use at this point. There are so many, there are so many things I could say. But I have decided to invite Bexapher on. Bexapher, please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Bexapher, and no adjective can truly describe me.
Bexapher is a professional writer. By the way, guys, this is now our second intro take because OBS decided to stop recording. So that's why I'm kind of like...
We just really just thought that it was just going well, just like, yes.
Oh, it was going so well. And then OBS just decided not to.
Novia just went Novia.
But yes, Bex is a professional writer, the only one in our university cohort that has, in the words of many lecturers, succeeded.
I like how we say succeeded. This is my success is that I have enough kudos on my fanfiction on Archive of Our Own that my ego is happy.
Bex does really cool things. If you need a writer, contact Bex. We will link her Twitter.
I need so much noodles, please. I have to make Jujutsu Kaisen merchandise.
Oh yeah, Bex is also resident anime weeb, so she does, don't worry guys, she does know about Pokemon, but if you need anime advice or recommendations, go to Bex. That is what I have learned.
Yeah, go to me. It won't be a bad mistake at all.
So, we will do our normal beginning news segment. I'm going to be honest, I don't really understand a lot of the Pokemon news that's happened this week, because Lani normally takes care of this, but I do know one thing that's happening, which hopefully Bex can give some pretty unique reactions to. The fact that our Pokemon, essentially League of Legends MMO game, has a confirmed release month of July, I believe? So,
oh god, yeah, no, that was news, wasn't it?
Pokemon's getting an MMO.
Yeah, no, I remember hearing about that, and I remember the first time they announced it, and my reaction wasn't exactly positive. There was a lot of me and my friends' reactions on that was just like, okay then.
So, I agree. I'm very concerned about what's going to happen when it comes out, just because, woo, toxic fandoms. But at the same time, the new trailer that has come out, and this is purely from a design aesthetic now, the interface is beautiful. So I'm like, okay, I appreciate the fact you've actually thought about this, but at the same time, I'm like, oh god.
I will only play it for Lucario.
I mean, mood.
Yeah, that's just my mood for everything, really. Lucario, yeah, sure, I'll play it.
Do you think we will be seeing Pokemon Unite esports tournaments, Bex?
It's a very sad truth of the world, we will.
Oh my, but that would be cool though. Oh no.
Oh no.
It was just, when I said it would be cool, I was like, oh no, Bex has gone quiet. Oh no.
Oh no, when you said oh no, I just thought that OBS stopped working again.
No, we're all good.
My fear there, they're just like, oh no. OBS, no.
Oh. So yeah, Pokemon Unite is coming out some point next month. Let us know what you think about that, Beans, because yeah, it's an interesting topic of conversation, because of course it's not our normal throw a Pokeball at it, pray, hope for the best. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I continue to do what I did when I was like 10. And the A button.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Maybe yell at some. I never truly got over that stage.
Oh, but let's get to the beef of our conversation today, which I did pre-warn Bex about. E3. Thoughts, feelings, emotions, Bexapher.
Well, I didn't have really any expectations.
Yeah.
Yet somehow I was still disappointed.
Oh my god.
So I didn't mind it, But at the same time, usually E3 is something that I do tend to get quite hyped up about.
Yeah.
But this year, I was just there like, okay,
Mm.
there's some games I'm looking forward to.
Yes.
But for the most part, I just kind of just sat there.
I think that's a common thing this year. I get it because obviously we've had Miss Rona dominating the planet, so people can't do their jobs in the way they normally do. They don't have access to the same kind of facilities, and it's affected the movie industry. It's affected every creative industry possible. So I get it. Developers can't show everything that they wish they could show, but I'm aware that it's also prompted this conversation about whether E3 still has a place in society, which I think it does. But a lot of companies now, game companies, are doing independent showcases. Like Square Enix have Square Enix Presents, Nintendo do their mini directs, which pop up every now and again. It's, are they saving the bigger titles for those and not really caring about E3 anymore? Bex.
I mean, I tend to prefer the smaller showcases now. Because at this point, I expect more from them than I do E3. I just know that if I want any news for any games that I like, not naming any names, Final Fantasy VII Remake, but, sometimes I just like to know things. Even if it's just a sentence. Like, hey, look at Vincent Valentine! But
oh dear, Lani is going to appreciate this. Lani's going to appreciate. So...
yeah.
So, did you have any key highlights from E3, Bex? Because there was, there was a lot to digest, and as interesting as it was, I think there were some hidden gems in the mix.
Yeah, I mean, I mostly caught up a lot on Twitter for the most part afterwards, because I just could not be bothered with a bunch of the showcases because I was just tired from work. So, for the most part, I did like naturally, I like the Nintendo showcase. I'm very much looking forward to Shin Megami Tensei. Mostly because, as well as that, it's a game that my brother has been looking forward to as well. So, I've never actually played a Shin Megami Tensei game. So I'm looking forward to it, actually. I took over my soul, and now I want to play more than this game. Why?
I know that there was a lot of pressure on Nintendo to have a good showcase at this point, because everything else, everyone was kind of like, oh yeah, well.
I literally watched the Bandai one immediately after. I believe you followed up with just one game.
Which again, is fine. It's fine. We're not saying it's not okay, but
okay, so it does look like a good game, but I would just kind of like to. I just sit there and just wasting years on Digimon Survive.
Oh, Digimon Survive.
Something. Because as far as I know, we know nothing on that.
It was coming out, and then it got pushed back, and now we haven't heard anything, and it's like, what?
Like, we haven't heard anything.
Also, side thing, Bex, your mic keeps cutting out.
I like to blame my pasta bake for that. It's a very strange argument, but it is probably true.
Why is it the pasta's fault?
No, it's just between me and my microphone.
Oh my gosh. Wait.
I'm creative solutions to my problems.
This is why everyone Bex is a creative writer and why she succeeded.
I am excellent at bullshit.
Oh my god.
I am allowed to swear on the podcast, right? I'm not allowed to swear, am I?
No, you swear. You swear all you swear all you want. It's all good. It's all good.
Sorry, children.
No, we are. We are a mature team. We're all fine.
Okay, I'm still going to censor myself though, because I feel like we do not want to see me swimming like a sailor, as I always do.
Oh my god. So, okay, right. Let's discuss the hot topic of the Square Enix conference.
Pink prompto.
Pink prompto. Pink prompto.
Four. That's what I'm calling him now. He's Core from Hot Topic.
Yeah. Which, okay, for context, Bex really likes moody boys, everyone. So there are certain characters that Bex will naturally find.
Natural too, and just
yeah.
You know when I've latched onto them because they'll die.
Yeah. Apart from a couple, literally a couple.
Then they just either just never win a fight again, or just become irrelevant.
Yeah. Oh no, that's really sad. Oh.
Oh god, I'm cursed.
It's okay, Bex. It's okay.
Not okay.
It's okay.
I'll never recover. That's no fandom I'm safe in.
So,
Pokemon.
what are your feelings towards the common argument here? That is, Square Enix spent a lot of time showcasing the Avengers game. Well, I say Avengers game, the Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale-looking game.
Hey, I don't mind them focusing on that because Marvel can get you a ton of money. Although the Avengers game was not really that good.
Oh, Beck's making the hot takes, everyone. I couldn't hear any of that, Beck, so sorry.
What's happening? My comfy corner is just...
Bex is experiencing technical difficulties, everyone.
This is what I get for choosing to... Okay, I'm going to move to the nice corner of my room that actually has connection. Because for some reason I have a corner of my room that has better connection than another corner.
There you go, everyone. Fun fact from Bex. Always sit in the corner of your room that has connection.
Yeah, no, if you ever want to just sit there and be comfortable, yeah, you can't do that.
Oh my god. But yes, Guardians of the Galaxy content. Thoughts?
Okay, so overall, Guardians of the Galaxy, it does look like a good game.
Yes.
And also I like Guardians of the Galaxy, so...
Yes.
I mean...
Huh?
So, basically, I kind of do wish they didn't spend as much time on it, though.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, it just feels like they really did just want to get as much time on that as possible, so that way they could probably make up for the fact that the Avengers, when it did come out, didn't actually sell that well.
Yes.
And it's like they're trying to compensate for that.
What were your feeling? Okay, right. So, okay, more context here, everyone, because there's a story for everything with Bex.
I just don't know why I should be...
No. We were just talking about this, to be fair. So, based on the fact that it looks like a Telltale game, and in the preview you were given the option to yeet Rocket across a cavern. We were just discussing that in The Wolf Among Us, Bex liked setting trees on fire and kicking small children. So I have to ask the question: would you yeet Rocket across a cavern, Bex?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
Yeet the raccoon. I will always choose to yeet the raccoon.
That was, I'll be honest, in the preview that they showed us, like, I was sat next to Luke when we were watching it, and I think I was on call with Lani at the time, and I was actually, like, getting quite emotionally attached, because I didn't like the idea of them selling Rocket, but I also didn't like the idea of them selling Groot either.
Sorry, I was about to make a Christmas tree joke.
Why?
Hey, I was about to think of just considering my relationship with trees and Telltale-like games.
True, very
Trees
true.
is in more danger than rockets.
But yeah, it does look good. I mean, I'm kind of like 50-50 on it, but at the same time, I personally don't enjoy Marvel games. Like, I watch the films, but I don't enjoy games.
I feel like it depends a lot on who's making the games, because in the past I have enjoyed. Okay, I enjoy Marvel Spider-Man, but I also really enjoyed. Did I play the really old PS2 Spider-Man?
Oh, yes.
All I truly remember that was just running around chasing after a small child's balloon. So those were a lot of fun. Same with like the old X-Men Academy sort of games. Because I remember I used to hijack my brother's save file, but that wasn't my fault. That was because I wasn't allowed to play them.
Is this a Baby Beck story?
Have I told you about the time that when I was like a toddler, I saved over my brother's yellow save? And that's because not understanding the implication that words can have two meanings. So I thought if I saved the game, it was like a life hack. So I saved the world from Team Rocket by immediately clicking the
Oh,
save.
Bex!
Yeah, thankfully John was only just at the first gym, and I got Pokemon Yellow out of it because he rage quit because he was really annoyed with me.
Oh, Bex.
That's when I first played Pokemon.
Oh.
I love my lesson. John was not happy.
Did you see anything about the new... And I say did you see anything because you saw it on Twitter. Did you see anything about the new Life is Strange game?
Yeah, no, I mean, when I say I mean, most of the other stuff that wasn't the Square Enix showcase I saw on Twitter. I did actually watch the Square Enix one. Yeah, I do like the look of the new Life is Strange game. Feels like over the years they fixed the amount of roasting I can do with their dialogue.
What's wrong with the dialogue?
I'm just saying, when I played the first Life is Strange recently, I just sort of got a lot of flashbacks to my teenage years.
Oh, God. Oh, yes, the remaster of the first Life is Strange.
I don't like Chloe as a character. I'm going to say that
Hot take,
now.
hot take, hot take.
I don't care! Chloe is a terrible friend!
Okay, I'll agree. A lot of crap could have been avoided if... Spoilers, I'm not going to say it if something else happened initially. But, yeah...
Yeah, no, and generally the only reason I ever played Life is Strange Before the Storm was just because I really liked the soundtrack.
Yes. Oh, the Life is Strange soundtrack is a banger.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love the order. Like, they are great with music. So, yeah, no, the soundtrack is always 100% on point. And I've recently been playing Tell Me Why because that has been free on Steam this month. So I've been really enjoying that.
I'll be honest, I was a bit taken back when... I mean, I understand why they weren't there, because their game has only just come out, and we're getting a remaster of the first one. But no reference or inclusion about Life is Strange 2. What is happening with my Wolf Boys? I want my Wolf Boys on Switch.
They'll probably get around with it. Life is Strange 2 I still haven't played yet.
Life is Strange 2, okay, so I haven't played it personally, but I've watched a playthrough of it, and it is some dark, intense stuff. Like, we're talking covering racial issues, growing up as a adult carer kind of situation, homelessness, abuse. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, I know that Life is Strange 1 has a lot of, oh my god, Kate's story, for example, being a prime example of all the crap. But, like, Life is Strange 2, they went in ham.
Kate was the only character I ever truly felt sympathy for.
Oh no, the amount of times I've had to redo that one segment with Kate just because I'm like, nope, I'm awful with my memory.
Yeah, I just remember going through it and just being like, oh, I didn't want to be sad me.
But yeah, I'm praying for a Life is Strange 2 port at some point, but yeah. So Square Enix was a thing. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I think they did okay. I just didn't appreciate the giant of Guardians of the Galaxy segment, personally.
I feel like they went for quite a chaotic vibe there.
But like 2 seconds of 16.
I feel like my chaos joke just went out the window.
No, I got it. I
know. I just like to see it just always have the read.
2 seconds of 16 and Pink Prompto, of course, for Final Fantasy Origin.
I'm going to be honest, when I first saw Nomura's name, I genuinely had a fear for a moment that this was a new Kingdom Hearts
Same!
game. And that it had just gone through, that he decided to make it super dark and super edgy.
But saying that, do you not think that the main protagonist looks like Luxord?
Yeah, no, he actually does.
I got so worried. Can't say, again, because KHP spoilers, I don't want Lani to get annoyed with me. But, like, if you know, you know. If that's the case and it connects, I swear to God, Nomura, you madman.
But also, Nomura star.
Nomura star.
Yeah, I feel like that's become my mood at the moment. Like, Nomura, go home, you're drunk.
Nomura, go home, you're drunk. Oh dear.
I have a lot of feelings.
There was something else I was going to ask you about, actually. I'm trying to remember what it was. Okay, whilst we're on the topic of video games then, do you know anything about the new The World Ends With You game coming out?
Very minimal.
Very minimal. From what you've seen, what are your thoughts, feelings and emotions on it? Because obviously we're going from DS to Switch.
I would like to play it, as I have always wanted to.
Cute.
But it's on, like, my list, because there's a lot of games that I still need to buy.
Oh gosh. What is this list, Bex? Please share it with the people.
Honestly, there's just a lot of games on my backlog. Like, I still need to buy Pokemon Snap. I still have to actually buy Breath of the Wild, because for some strange reason in my mind I'm just like, maybe it'll go on sale. 3 years. It's gonna go on sale. I don't know why I'm lying to myself.
There you go then. Breath of the Wild 2.
And I know, yeah, no, I've been...
Wait, what?
Yeah. No, I am looking forward to Breath of the Wild. I'll play Breath of the Wild before Breath of the Wild 2 comes out.
Yes, Specs, yes.
With my mind. That and I still need to play the No More Heroes game. Because when I was younger, I owned a Wii because I was poor and could not afford games for the Wii because Mum was just like, I'm not giving you an allowance for video games. It's just fine. Also, that required actually doing like chores.
Oh my god, thanks.
And she knew that she would pay me to do nothing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, stop in the washing machine, that would be it. But I get distracted.
Oh dear. So, overall then, E3, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it?
Not poor enough that it would get like a 1 or anything. I feel like it would get a 5. Mostly because it didn't try hard enough to be a 7.
It didn't try hard enough to be a 7.
Yeah, it didn't try hard enough there, so... Yeah, it does not get a 7 for me, it gets a 5.
Oh my god.
Solid middle ground.
There you go, E3, you've had the official verdict from Bex.
5. Much more aggressive.
So, let's do a 360 on video games and go to your topic of ultimate level of oh my gosh. Let's be controversial and let's quickly, potentially, touch on the wondrous world of anime.
This is a dangerous game you're playing, Riley.
And I'm I'm choosing this topic. I don't know if you've seen it. Just because of, and I'm sorry for anyone that isn't interested in this, I just find it funny, and Bex's reaction will be priceless if she does know what I'm discussing. The recently released My Hero Academia news about the second half of the new season.
That news. Yes.
We're taking a quick break, children, and we're going to be doing this instead.
In fact, My Hero Academia will only be controversial hot takes with me, dear God. Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about that.
So, okay, are you able to give an overview on why this is a kind of a hot topic of conversation for quite a few people at the minute, Bex, just for those that don't follow the manga?
So, just first, just highlight what the news is, because I've only seen like glimmers of what it means, and I'm just really hoping that it will.
So, at the base, okay, I don't know whether this is actually the case because it could change because it's anime versus manga, but based on the fact that we're getting the third My Hero Academia movie pretty soon, yay, what the anime creators have decided to do is, instead of going from one arc to the next in like a lovely continual follow the timeline kind of thing, we are not doing the villain arc yet. Instead, we are doing the Endeavor arc first, to then lead into the movie, to then go into the villain arc. So it's kind of, we're just picking up one chunk, moving it to the left, popping it down, and then we're going to cover the next bit later. And it's controversial because a lot of people were really hoping that we were going to be seeing the villain arc this time around, just based on the previews we got, because a lot of My Hero Academia previews are based off manga covers. But now it's kind of like, the movie, is the movie going to be classed as something that's canon? Because in the past, the last two movies they've made reference to, but not, it's not like been 100%. Oh yeah, yeah, you've got to watch this and then understand this kind of thing. But they're implying this time that in order to understand the rest of the anime, you have to watch the film as well. Bex.
Okay. So because I just had to remind myself of which arc came where, because honestly, if I'm honest with you, the story arcs in My Hero Academia are a bit of a mess right now, because I honestly, there's stuff constantly happening that I'm just like, when did this happen? How far back are you guys in the anime? Because my god, I'm not having a fun time in the manga right now. So generally, I don't like it. I mean, I don't like what they're doing with the anime switching around the plots. Honestly, there's so much stuff on. That was the last good arc I remember. I actually enjoyed that. And it's just like, there's so much stuff going on in there that like you can't really appreciate the whole Endeavor arc if you don't see that one first, because there's so much like, it's actually world building, actually. A few world building arcs that wasn't just then immediately tossed into a garbage chute.
Because we got like a 5-10 second clip of Shigaraki basically exploding a whole town, and then his hair turning white and him becoming a very moody boy, and then suddenly this preview of the Endeavor arc with Bakugo, Todoroki, and Deku. And I was like, Bex is going to have something to say about this, I feel.
I feel like so many people are going to sit there like, but what's going on with Shigaraki? And it's just like, the good news is, everyone, you will never know, apparently. But I mean, yeah, I don't know what the answer
is. In an awkward way, I'm kind of happy that they've... Okay, two sides. I'm kind of happy that they've delayed the villain arc, because I feel like with COVID, that's a kind of arc they want to go all out, put loads of money into, make it look amazing, just really amazing opening. I'm fully expecting them to come up with a second logo, because you know how the manga... I think the manga's got two logos on the cover, where they've cut out the hero bit and they've changed it to villain.
I think that was a thing.
I'm hoping they're going to do that with the anime. But because Miss Rona is still a thing, they're kind of like, oh, you know, well, we can maybe make some cuts here. Let's do this first and put all our money into the film, make a really cool film, make lots of profit, and then put that into the villain arc. Other part of me is like, why though?
I mean, there's a lot of fight stuff, and this is probably the biggest like fights that we've actually really got in the series. Because I don't really class the joint training arc as like massive fights or anything like that. Joint training arc I kind of just class as almost like a manga filler arc, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, nothing really happens. It's just kind of there. Kind of gentle. Deku does stuff. I sigh loudly at Deku. You can tell that I'm a Bakugo fan, can't you?
Bex likes her moody boys, everyone.
She just wants to just punch things, and I feel like that's a mood. But yeah, no, and generally, I don't know, there's just a lot of fight choreography to work through.
Yep.
I know that it can be difficult, like, I've been reading My Hero Academia weekly for quite a while now. And it is quite difficult to follow a lot of the panels. Like, Horikoshi's art is amazing, but the fights can be very difficult to follow at times.
Yeah.
Especially if you are not really as massively invested in rereading the manga several times. I'm saying this now, just in case I get hated on. I'm just like, I'm not going to read the manga 100 times. I'm not going to. Not going. Like my favourite in the show.
Oh my god.
But yeah.
No. I have a question actually. Finish that sentence because you've just reminded me of something. Go for it. Go. You finish. I'm sorry.
No, I finished that sentence. I was just mumbling to myself while poking some.
And it's fine if you didn't. Did you manage to watch any of Promised Neverland?
I decided I wanted to be continuously happy after I had my kid. So I did.
Oh, thanks.
I'll watch it eventually, but honestly, after getting my COVID jab, I was just like, you know, I'm not going to watch this today. I'm going to sit here and watch YouTube videos.
So that's the thing, everyone. Me, Bex, and Luke all had our COVID jabs this week, and yay, we've had our first dose, but boo, because apparently a lot of people in our age bracket keep fainting. I
did feel quite crap afterwards, so I'm just like, okay.
Oh, me and Luke, like, full on, I saw someone go in a wheelchair, and then as I was going into like the waiting room to do the 15-minute thing, because we had 5G, everyone, we had 5G, someone was like standing, and the next thing we know, they're on the floor, and we're like, okay, yeah, sweet, cool, that's nice.
Yeah, that's not great.
That's not great. Be safe, everyone, be safe. But yeah. So, okay, right. Off anime for a second then. Let's go into a topic that quite a few PokeHaven people enjoy discussing, specifically Lani and Taser, because whilst Bex is here, I'm going to pick Bex's brains for all of the questions. Back into the realm of gaming, Final Fantasy VII Remake. The release of Intergrade on PS5. Now, Bex, I know you have some unique feelings and emotions about this.
Most negative. Most negative. See about the story. But negativity about everything else.
Would you like to share some of your comments for the people, and I don't know if you want to convince them to buy Final Fantasy VII Remake or put them off it completely? I don't know.
I mean, as Riley knows, watched the Final Fantasy VII Remake First Class Edition when it came out. Because I really wanted that Hardy Daytona. I don't think you understand. I wanted that. I was willing to go without food to get that Hardy Daytona. This is a very sad truth about me. I will do that. I'm still not sorry for buying that figure. Anything, my brother will never hear about that because he was just like, yeah, I'm not buying I'm not buying Final Fantasy VII Remake because it's going to be in parts and it's going to be a waste of money, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just there with my 200 odd figure, just like, yeah. Where's the money that? His site. So, yeah, no. Generally, like, remake, integrate, I'm a bit like... I was very hyped when they announced it.
Yep.
And then they announced it was PS5 exclusive, and never before have I felt such crushing disappointment in my entire life. Never before. A crushing disappointment was unreal. I could squeal to, I want to throw something out of a window. Because it's you. It's you. Yeah. Aside from that. Also, as someone who is a fan of Dirge of Cerberus, I was 100% on point with, like, certain characters appearing. Generally, I feel like it's a very good sort of story from what I watched on YouTube. But it did not seem to warrant a PS5 exclusivity. I'm just saying that now. The cutscene movie I watched was like an entire 1 hour or so of my life. I'm not paying for a PS5 just so I could experience that.
What is... I know we've spoken about this personally, but what is your opinion on, without giving too many spoilers, the ending of Intergrade and how that was handled and what that could mean for the future of the franchise?
Okay, so to be very careful about
spoilers, very careful.
Honestly, that's not going to go well otherwise. I feel like I am right. Doesn't actually explain anything.
I was like, what are you right about, Bex? Also, don't worry, I know we have spoken about timeline theories on this podcast before, so if you want to go into timeline theory, you go for it.
Okay, cool. I actually think it is pretty much the same timeline when a certain fellow just appears at a certain building of worship that...
Oh yeah, can you explain this to me? Because I was trying to explain it to Lani, but I couldn't think of the wording that you used.
Okay. Wait, was that just a sign for me to explain?
Yeah.
That's not what you want me to explain.
About the it being the same timeline, because Lani was saying to me, oh no, it's two different timelines, like it's got to be two different timelines. But then I said, oh, but Bex said this, but then I couldn't think of how you worded it, so I'm like, Bex, please can you explain it for the people so that it comes out better than what I produced?
Right, so what I imagine by different timelines is that there are two different timelines going on at the same time. Well, I feel like this time it's actually a direct sort of, to quote Doctor Who here, and by quote I mean paraphrase, it's all just a bunch of timey-wimey bullshit.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. Timey-wimey bullshit needs to be put onto a t-shirt.
I think that the two timelines have converged, and that now they kind of have just sort of like okay, so you know Sonic X? You know the whole thing where two Earths are sort of going to crash into each other or something, and that's why Sonic is with them. I'm so sorry if someone out here who hasn't got Sonic X and is just like, I'm sorry, what? So I watched this one so basically it's sort of like that, and I feel like a certain silver-haired fellow has broken things. So basically it's all just makes any sense at all, because I'm trying to be as vague as possible, and it's working.
So what evidence do you believe there is then to suggest it's the same timeline?
Once they appear at that point, they never actually interact.
Yeah.
And the church is sort of it does have people in it.
Yeah.
And it does seem like it supports the ending where, like, the plate has literally just gone blah.
Blah. The plate has gone blah.
The plate has gone blah.
So, what are you... What... I don't know how to word this. What would you predict to happen next then? Because obviously, I mean, a lot of people are expecting part 2 to have a lot of open world exploration. Ignore the car in the background of the bike. Thank you. A lot of exploration and stuff, but now obviously, I mean, this isn't spoilers because this was in the original as well. A certain scene with a certain person that gets a certain stab wound in the HD remake glory, but now the potential of that to be changed. What do you think may happen in future parts of the remake?
I think Genesis will just appear out of nowhere because Nomura probably wants him there. So he's probably going to appear out of nowhere, change the timeline, and just be like, because that's probably why they included all the stuff from Deep Ground. He's just going to appear.
Spoiler alert, everyone. Bex is very passionate about Genesis. And Vincent.
Everyone has a lot of feelings about Vincent. Everyone. Yeah, generally, in my mind, I'm just hoping that everyone is happy and no one gets depressed or, like, anything like that.
So, okay, right. Question then. The big question. Big question. Do you think we're going to see a certain stabby stab moment, or do you think that will be avoided?
I don't think that whether we see the stabby stab, it's going to be dependent on will they then change the stabby stab.
Yep.
I can fully imagine there will be scenes, but then they might just mess it up and then boom, part 3. Which I can kind of imagine them doing.
So for part 2, I was going to ask them how many parts do you think they're going to make, but I can't remember if that's already been confirmed.
That's been confirmed, actually.
How far do you, based on what we've seen in part 1, how far do you think part 2 may take us?
I imagine in my dreams they go to Rileyy, but in my heart it might just be like Nibelheim. Nibelheim. Like, I don't know, it's hard to say because there is quite a lot happening.
Yeah.
I can absolutely imagine them just having Nibelheim. And I kind of just want that for the angst.
For the angst.
Like, we all know what I'm about. What I'm here for.
In terms of DLC content, do you think that we will see more episodes like Intergrade moving forward, or do you think that it's just going to be like one per part?
Well, I want to hope no. Mostly because I'm still really salty about them doing that. I feel like the next time they do it, it'll be PlayStation 6.
Oh my god.
I don't put it past them.
Oh my god.
I am still not over what they did with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Spoilers.
I'm saying nothing else. You know
I know.
You know what I'm talking about.
Stay tuned, everyone, in August when Lani finally plays KH3 and we can talk about KH3 on the podcast. I'm buzzing. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So, okay, off the topic of Final Fantasy VII Remake then. Let's quickly, just for a little bit, because we'll wrap up soon, talk about Bexapher and what Bexapher has been up to and what Bexapher does, just for context, because we briefly spoke about it on the opening, but let's showcase Bexapher. Bexapher, what do you do? Who are you, Bexapher? Give us context.
In a way, does anyone truly know who I am? Yeah, no, I am a
human.
Yeah, I was going to say weeb, so I'm really glad that you figured out human before I did. Because honestly, I was just going to use weeb first, human secondary. I am only human secondary. Sure. I do writing. I basically write fan fiction. I write one fanfic. It's a crack fic. I will never tell anyone about it.
Bex, where can people find your writing?
Try hard enough, they'll find me on Archival. I'm not going to point myself out. Please feel free to find my very stupid fanfic. If you really like Jujutsu Kaisen and have read the Shibuya arc, not before, for the love of God, not before, not before. But yeah, no, I basically do that. I'm thinking of getting back into streaming at some point.
Yeah. Bex, fun fact, in Final Fantasy 15 stop Brexit, just letting you all know.
That was the lighter timeline. That was the better timeline. Great timeline to be a part of. It got dark for a while, but, it got better. It got better. I mean, sure, there were dark times, including 3-point turns.
I see. I didn't mention it. I haven't mentioned that.
I really was thinking it. But yeah, thinking of going back into streaming. At the moment, I'm also doing, some script writing stuff.
Yeah.
I did a master's in that, and got into fiction, which is great. Don't know how. I was sleep deprived for most of that. It's a very stressful time. No. I also just randomly say things on Twitter, but not very often anymore. I'm too busy liking and reblogging fan art. I say reblogging. You all know that I'm still on Tumblr. So I'm safe. Also, I also have a lot of opinions about the Powerpuff Girls reboot.
Wait, what? What?
Okay, so basically, Riley, do you know about the live-action Powerpuff Girls?
Yes. This is the one with Thingy, what's her face, Dove in it. Dove Cameron.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Cameron.
Wait, what?
So the pilot script leaked.
Oh god, right, okay.
The original pilot script leaked, and it was terrible, and I may have written many a thing just about the first act.
So, why was it terrible?
Oh, Riley.
Okay, are we which level of terrible are we talking? Are we talking Twilight terrible?
Twilight you can make jokes out of. This just made a mockery of my childhood.
Oh no.
It forced me to have this civil reaction to how bad it was.
I'm gonna have to watch some YouTube videos on this.
Yeah, there are many. It's awful.
Oh dear.
They ruined so many characters.
Oh no.
Ruined Bubbles.
Do I want to ask?
Became like a washed out celebrity type person who was just like, Bubbles wasn't an asshole. Bubbles was an asshole. Bubbles was a nice person.
Oh no. Well, that's my evening sorted, everyone. I'm going to be watching the Powerpuff Girls and looking at this apparent leaked script and crying my eyes out with a tub of ice cream. I think that's the perfect way to spend a Sunday.
Yeah, that is how you should spend your Sunday. I just literally just thought of it. Just like, I've been doing it myself.
Oh dear.
There's a bunch of memes about it.
Well, I think we should wrap up there then. Let's end it on the Powerpuff Girls leaked script, which you should all try and find and go and read.
Just here, just like, oh yes. Now y'all know what I do in my time. It's just terribly written. It's like just Guys, it features a Harambe meme in 2021. That's how bad it is.
Oh dear.
Harambe 2021. Why not? Just like, yeah.
Oh dear. Well, thank you for joining the podcast this week, Bexapher.
You're welcome. It was very chaotic, wasn't it?
I mean, story of our lives, really, isn't it?
Yeah, no, this is what happens every time.
Oh dear. But yeah, be sure if you want to know more about anything anime related, or if you want to make some hot takes on Final Fantasy VII, to give Bexapher a little nudge on Twitter and potentially convince her to play Pokemon Unite and join a Pokemon Unite team, because it'll be funny.
It's a dangerous game we're playing here.
I mean, secretly she wants to. Totally. Pokemon Unite Pro Player Bexapher 2021.
Bex, what did you imagine from your future?
Oh my god.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
I have no other
Oh dear. But yeah.
going to now. That's going to be hilarious.
Oh, right. We'll wrap up here. Thank you all for listening, Beans. Have a wonderful weekend, whenever you choose to listen to this. Happy Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy Valentine's Day, everything else. And we
Halloween.
will... Oh my god, happy Halloween. And we shall see you in the next podcast. Thank you again, Bexapher, for joining this week.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Bye.